Well, how do you do, everybody? Live on location this weekend. So we're going to be doing a little bit of fun in the field. If you want, and you're so inclined, go ahead and start sending me messages from my inbox at KI6NAG over on JS8Call. Because that's what today's topic is for the Hammer Day Crash Course, is JS8Call. Are you down with the JS8Call? I feel like we do this once a month. We talk about JS8Call. Sorry, once a year, and it is this year. Thank you so much, Ed, for the subscribing as a new member. Super extra status. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. And I hope I'm coming in okay to you guys. I apologize. I don't have much faster internet than I can push any more than 720p. But hopefully the video is crispy. That's all I care about. And my audio being good. Hope it's all right. All right, we got the Twitch side showing up. We got the Discord. Discord I think is still broken. So if you're on the Discord side, I apologize it's not coming through. I don't know why that is, but we'll get it sorted out one day, I promise. All right. So how's it going, everybody? I am Josh, KI6NAZ. Hopefully you're hearing me okay. I think everything looks good. Everything looks good. I appreciate that. It's still bright sun here in Big Bear, California, so still trying to shade myself a bit and stay under the sun. But today is a patron picks episode for all of my wonderful patrons. Every month we do kind of a couple of polls throughout the year to take show ideas, but then monthly the producer levels get to pick on which topic I do for a show. Every first month of the month, every new Ham Radio Crash Course live stream, we let the patrons, the producers, pick it. And they picked JS8Call. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to get people started, but the focus on this one is to explore more of those advanced features that we don't cover a lot. Just to show everybody where I'm at, here's the backyard of my dad's house. You can call it a cabin, but it's really a house. And you can't see it because they're like invisible now, but I'm running a Chameleon lefts end fed, and I've got it all the way up for 80 meters. I got the extendo on that. So while we're doing, while we go into the evening here for the after chat on Discord, by the way, you can join us on the Discord after chat. I will be live streaming that as well, hopefully, assuming nothing fails. I will take your questions and all that stuff, but we'll be using 80 meters, hopefully. And I'll flip things around, too, so I can show you the full craziness that is this setup here. So let me show you what you can do when you're portable, right? So here's the operating position, everybody. We're probably going to lose this camera in a second with the battery, but for everybody that's curious, I'm running the Shegu G106 for this episode into the DE19 digital device, into the Buddy Stick Pro, the Buddy Pull Power Mini, the original first gen, into my Denko battery with the association, Ham Radio Crash Course battery, but with an association with Denko. Got that up and running. So yeah, really, not too difficult here to set up, but we're going to be having some fun. Now, of course, because I am running off of the Jankopotamus laptop, I can show you what that looks like on the screen, and that's what we'll be doing live as we go. But before all that, I got to give a big shout out to Adam, K6ARK, for sending a gift package, if you will, of beers, and it just worked out perfectly with this weekend. Thank you so much. It was a great holiday weekend for this. He sent a couple of Dorcha Extra Stouts, and this is what they look like. So cheers so much. Liberty Cave. You crack me up, man. Denko, when you absolutely have to do it yourself. I love it. All right, so that's topping us off here, so we can get started. All right, let's check the chat really fast before we dive in completely. Hey, why didn't there it is. Let's look through the chat here, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for hopping into the live stream here. Ham Radio Hef, thank you so much for being a member of the YouTube as well. Appreciate it. Help support the channel and do crazy things like this. Axon Jackson just finished his QDX last night. I'm jumping on FT8 for the first time. Cool. See if you can do JS8Call with that QDX. I think you can. I think you can. I like it, Tony. So yeah, the laptop and a lot of this stuff on the back end you wouldn't need if you were just doing this ham radio style. You wouldn't need all this stuff. You would just need your little Jankopotamus $60 laptop and your G106 and maybe solar if you wanted to. I was charging my Jankopotamus earlier with solar, but the sun's starting to crest over the trees here, so in fact I may have to rotate this to get this out of my face. The sun is pretty obnoxious right now. There we go, much better. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Before we start that though, I want to pull up the web here. I linked what I think is a really nice document over on the web in the description for this video. It's a really nice JS8Call how-to. You can see it. It's just really long document. But a couple of the groups that we're going to talk about later, like APRS, IS. These are special spotting groups that we can use to do some interesting things, and we're going to talk about that. Like send our APRS grid or our location over JS8Call to be picked up by APRS, which is really handy if you're out in the field. But let's go ahead and bring up the Jankopotamus. All right, so here's Jankopotamus time. So I'm running off the laptop here. I am running JS8Call, the current version. You can download it. Link is in the description. I'll show you very quickly what this all looks like. It is version 2.2.0. Very important that you go with the most up-to-date, and really it's not that difficult because there hasn't been that many updates for this. So you should be able to just go straight to the first, the current gen, and you'll be good to go. All right. Now, for those of you that have never done this before, right? Never, ever done this. I apologize. This isn't the best video for this, but I want to show you really quick what I think you should focus on doing. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to pop up when you run it for the first time, and it's going to complain that you don't have a radio connected, which is probably true. And so what I recommend you do is, while you're talking through all this, bring up Device Manager for Windows, okay? And all slowness is all Jankopotamus. So if you want to know how fast it is to work this thing, now you'll know. All right, so when you have your devices connected, so for instance, DE19 interface, you're going to see a port that shows up. And in this case, it's that COM12 USB serial port. You keep in mind that, and then audio interface and output, right? You've got a USB device. Where is it? Yeah, microphone, USB audio device, speaker, USB audio device. Those are the inputs and outputs for serial control, what we call CAT, Computer Assisted Tuning, I believe is what CAT stands for ham radio. And then also the audio devices. So if you have the USB connected to your laptop and the audio connected for however, either over USB or with a second audio interface, all you need to do is go into settings at that point, right? You go to radio, CAT control, which is this guy here. Now, I'm using the G106, so that is going to be an ICOM IC7000. COM port 12 was that port I showed you earlier in Device Manager. Make it match. The baud rate is going to be specific for the radio that you're using at that time. Some radios use different baud rates, or it's adjustable, so you may change it. Like on the 7300, you can crank it up really fast, or you can make it relatively slow. It's all something that you can set as you're setting up the radio. So in the case of the G106, it's 19,200. Make it match. Go to data bits 8, stop bits. Stop bits is going to be 1, and handshake is default, and then you click OK. Hey, Ben, can you come go around and come right here for a second? Go around and then come over here. All right. Sorry, I exited out of that too fast. Somebody was calling me, and I'm going to tell Leia to go see if she can handle it. We're at my dad's, so it's we've got a neighbor across the street that was trying to reach me. Ben, come here. All right, under the rig options tab, you're going to say cat PTT. Jeez. Okay, go tell mommy that the neighbor just tried to call me. Can you, here, take this to mommy. Take that to mommy. Go. that the neighbor's trying to call. All right, rig PTT is the type cat method. The mode is going to be none. This varies as well. You may need to use USB or data packet. If you are on the 705, for instance, you're going to want data and packet. For split operation, you want none. This depends on your radio as well. And then you click test cat, and it should pop up green like you're seeing right now. And I am not transmitting. After it shows up as green, you want to hit test PTT. The radio should start to transmit, and that's pretty much it. If you're having a problem with that, then it is entirely likely that you've got other issues going on. But the main thing is, once you have those USB ports in place, you should be good to go. I appreciate I glossed over that very, very quickly. Now, I am not at DM03, and Edison just took my phone, which is what I use to update my grid square. But regardless, when you're setting this up for the first time, general, station, fill this information out, and under call sign groups, why don't you add a @HRCC. That's one of our groups that you can use for easily communicating with other folks. So that's the fast way of setting this up. Let's say you're pretty much there at that point. Looks like people are pinging me right now. All right, so going through this, you're looking at it. Let's say you have a waterfall like I do, that orange screen down there. Maybe you don't have a lot of all the text you see in the middle area and not a lot else going on, and you may not even see some buttons across the board like that. HB plus AC 513, what's that all about? Or was it say 600? So what's that all about? Well, let me show you. Under mode, the first thing you're going to want to do is you can leave it on fast. Sometimes I do normal if you want. And then go down to enable auto, go to enable simultaneous decode on multi, enable heartbeat networking, enable heartbeat acknowledgements, and enable auto reply with confirmation. Okay, and what that does is it opens up this concept of heartbeat networking. Heartbeat networking can be defined as me yelling out into the ether going, hey, does anybody hear me? And then everybody that can hear me responds back with a, yeah, I hear you. You sound really faint, or you sound really loud, or you're not, whatever, something like that. Basically, only people that reply to you show up in your heartbeat message. We use heartbeat as a way to fill out the right-hand side of the screen, which is just above my head here with all these call signs. See that? Those are people we've heard on the air. Either they've sent a message, in the case of VA7ET, which has that little flag, or they've responded to us directly on a heartbeat. Leia, thank you. Leia, if you're watching this, the neighbor's calling me. And then when you're done with that, please bring me back my phone. Call the neighbor back. Okay, so these are all the folks on the right-hand side I've heard, and the people with the stars are the ones that have replied to my heartbeat. So those are people, if you had a question of, hey, if I'm in a situation where I need some help, or I need to reach out to somebody, and it's a dire situation, who should I try and hit first? Well, I'd go after the people that have the stars, or who have sent you messages in the past, or that you're currently hearing on the left-hand side of the screen. So if we're approaching this from emergency standpoint, oh, no cable. Okay, please bring me back my phone. I need my phone. Tell Ben to bring it back. All right. So you use this as a way to have a pretty good confidence that the people that you can hear can actually reply back to you. This is really valuable in your case, in a case situation like I am right now, right? If I have QRP and I'm operating on a desk with a little radio, I'm going to want to get as much capability or only try and communicate with people that can actually hear me. Thank you, buddy, for taking that. Thank you. All right. Now I have my phone. All things are good again in this world. So we're going to use that a bit here as we go forward. But let's walk through the screen now once you've activated heartbeat. On the left-hand side, you'll probably see an HB button down here. But yours probably doesn't say AC, or maybe it does, and 513 counting down is probably not there. So what that is for is a periodic reissue of heartbeat. You can set it to a timer, and that, again, allows you to flesh out your heartbeat page as you're working along. So if we go to Control and we go to Send Heartbeat, we can set it to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, repeat, and then you can have a custom interval, and then you can say, send heartbeat now. I have it set to 10 minutes, right? But you're thinking to yourself, well, what if I want to send a heartbeat right now and I don't want to wait? Well, that's easy. You just right-click on heartbeat, and you go send heartbeat now. I'm now transmitting. You can see the screen has gone red. And that's the first kind of thing you want to do when you get started with JS8Call. You want to issue a heartbeat. So if you're kind of following along or you already have JS8Call running, go ahead and issue a heartbeat right now. Let's see who can all hear each other and who can hear me, and let's flesh out that heartbeat list. JS8Call is actually a fun interactive one because we're literally banking on you using it so that you can hear. All right, so red on the left-hand side means someone can hear me. Mode is going to be, Bastiti is going to be, the mode is going to be upper sideband, or it's going to be upper sideband digital, depending on the radio you have. So KN6JSX is asking for a heartbeat reply. So I got that pop-up. I'm going to say yes. So is KN, oh, that's the same one. There we go. So I'm also now replying. Right, so we got a decent amount of people that replied to my actual heartbeat. So I've fleshed out my heartbeat some. I need a heartbeat, like that Don Johnson song. I know exactly what you're talking about, Scout. Absolutely. So hopefully everybody's fleshing out their waterfall. I can see lots of activity. You can see it that way. You can see it next to me here. So everybody's fleshing out their waterfall. Or sorry, their heartbeat. I want my laptop to stop trying to auto display change for me. Knock it off. Oh well, deal with it later. All right, so it looks like some people are actually sending me directly. So here's a good way to use the heartbeat. So let's assume that you are trying to communicate with a group of friends. You're out in the field. Maybe you're trying to communicate with your wife and loved ones back home, and their hams. That's the easiest case, and they can hear you. So I'm going to use W8OOM here on my screen. You can see he's got a star. We had a QSO earlier. It was either yesterday or the day before, and I want to send him kind of a comment on how I'm doing. There's a couple ways to do this, right? I could just send him a message directly and say, hey, I'm all good. I hope you're well. Don't send the search party. But it's entirely possible that he's away from his computer, right? So I'm going to reply with a directed message, and it's going to be a message format. I'm going to click that. Now you see this window right here. It now says WA8OOM message, and then message is highlighted. So I'm going to type, it's beer o'clock. Oh, there we go. Come on. And I'm going to hit enter. That's our status message to him, for him to know everything is good. Hey, what's up with 6? Hey, by the way, everybody, Vern6, good friend of the channel, good friend of all the YouTubers, good friend of hams in general, great guy we love hanging out with at places like Huntsville. He has decided to focus some energy on getting into YouTube or making more YouTube videos. And so he has a channel, and it's What's Up with 6. He's in the chat right now. Vern, thanks so much. He says, thanks for giving me some heartbeat time earlier today with video advice. You bet, buddy. Do they spot JS8Call contacts? Well, we can spot them. You can spot on PSK Reporter, which we'll talk about later. Okay, so we have blasted out a message. I hope he got it, letting him know, hey, I'm good. But what if, let's see. Yeah, so PSK Reporter should spot. Let's find somebody in the chat who I don't have on my waterfall here. We'll find a call sign in a minute. But let's see, Don N5SKT is always a good one to do this with, so we'll work with him in a second. So I fired off my message, and look, WS7PB says Angry Orchard Time. So I'm going to double click on him, and I'm going to say, what's my signal report? You'll find that a lot of the things you can do with JS8Call is easy, just keyboard to keyboard, type. But in this case, we're going to be leveraging some of the pre-canned messages, and eventually we'll get into a point where we can go back and forth, and this might be the guy. So we're going to see what he's... On Target Reviews asks a question, and it's a good one, and it comes up a lot with digital modes. How much power is common to use on JS8, and how much power is too much? Using just about right enough to make sure you can maintain a contact is what you want to do. And for JS8, it's pretty easy. You will start a QSO with somebody on JS8, and you can start dialing back the power, and you can work out kind of between each of you if 10 watts is enough, or 25 watts, 50 watts, 100 watts. It's going to change, and it's not always going to be the same, even if those people are geographically in the same location. Sometimes you'll need more power because just propagation isn't that great. Good question. But generally, I would start with more power and then bring it back down, particularly if you are portable. If you're portable, you want to save that battery. So yes, you want to make sure that you take care of that. All right. All right, so WS7PB is Liberty Cave. I don't think I knew your call sign. So he shows up there on the right-hand side. I'm going to double-click on it, and now he's on my little text copy or text entry window. And that little diamond at the end of his last comment right here, you can see it, that little diamond at the end of the text there, that is his basically last character. So the message has been sent. So I'm going to say, thanks for coming back. All good here, Josh. Now, brevity is what you want to do with JS8Call. You want to keep the messages fairly short and to the point, although people come out here and they just go nuts with talking and rag chewing. And there's nothing wrong with having a prolonged rag chew, but it's your choice of words that's important. You want to pick words that get your point across with few words instead of large, big words, lots of words, all that stuff, because that will actually make you have to transmit more in the 9 or so second intervals that this is going through. If you are alone in the wilderness and you're trying to be prepared and get contacts out to the people that you need to make contact with, it's generally good to consider your battery as a depletable resource. Solar, obviously running into the night with solar, you're going to run out of juice at some point, but you also have to charge that back up before you can use it again the next day. So it's always a good idea to leave a bit in the tank, if you will. So running low power is going to be important, and knowing when to kind of call it a day is also good to go. It does make sense in a lot of cases that you can just leave the computer running for a decent amount of time or radio and just collect messages. Then sit down and just rapid fire transmit and reply back to all those messages that you received. That's much better than trying to go all day with, talking to people back and forth. Great question from Michael. Yes, JS8Call is full duty cycle. So yeah, you're going to suck up the juice pretty well. In fact, I'm running at 13.09 volts on my HRCC Denko Collab battery. All right. So a lot of people are having conversations right now, which is great. You can see that waterfall traffic, and we're seeing it decoded on the left-hand screen. We've already sent a message. We've already had kind of a two-way back-and-forth discussion, which I would just call the rag chew mode. Now, let's go look at my inbox, because we've been receiving messages. I've been receiving messages throughout the day. So I'm going to go to View. I'm going to go to Show Message Inbox. Where are all my messages? Why? What happened to my messages? You're receiving that. I literally have a message. There it is. What? Why? That was weird. Okay. So I got a message. That was really funny. I got a message earlier from VA7EET, Leet, Valit. Hello from JS8 Land. Great. So this is something you guys all saw that. There was no message. The inbox was empty. I had to go to that person and right click. That's not generally what you have to do. Patrick, what's up? I think he said that's him that sent it. Thank you very much for sending the message. So you could hypothetically have a low draw computer. A Raspberry Pi, for instance, is very low draw, connected to a radio like the G106, which is also pretty low draw, and you could just receive messages like all into the evening. And then in the morning, pull up your inbox, see what's going on, reply to them, just like I'm about to do. So I'm going to say, reply. So it goes directly onto the main screen, VA7EET, with the space message format, and it then will select message for me. And I'm going to say, all good, thanks. Thanks for message. 7-3. So you could sit down and just kind of like work through your inbox in the morning and then get on your way running solar. So the dog's out here. So I got the dog now. Hello, Chloe. Hello. Okay. Leia, let the dog out. Make sure you have no one selected. Oh, was that what that was? Oh, that's why. Interesting. I didn't know it did that. I mean, how do you unselect, though? Well, regardless, you can always look at the flags on the left-hand side, the star flags, and if they sent you a message, it will show up as a little flag. The deselect button deselect. Oh, why? That's so weird. Okay, there we go. There was one more. I knew there was one more. All right, so this one was from W5TP. He said, "Love your videos. Here's a message for your inbox." So I will reply to him. Thanks for message. Somebody's using the group tag, and we'll talk about that in a second too. All right, so I'm going to send that off. Okay, so we'll show you that right now. So let me go to WA8OOM again when it's done transmitting. So apparently you've got to click the deselect button just above my head to deselect it. Then you can go to view, then you go to show message inbox, and then you'll see all of it. So that makes sense. That's a little bit cumbersome though. I don't know why that's kind of that's not great. Dang, Adam, what is this? Oh, it's only 7.2. Okay. So I think somebody just fired off a group call. K8MRD is in the chat. K8MRD's got to get on the HRCC group window, but he's on there as well. It looks like I can see him. So I'm going to say, where is he? Is he in there? There he is. Scallywag. Get on at HRCC. So K8MRD, I'll do it again just to show everybody. But you can just do at HRCC, and everybody that's enrolled in that group will get that message. And to set that up, it's very easy. You go to File Settings, and on the first tab, there is an Enrolled Group tab. There's quite a few groups that you can enroll yourself in. I'm going to wait for this transmit to finish, and then I'll show you. Oh, it's starting to cool down significantly. I love it. All right, so we go to File, Settings. Under Call Sign Groups, You just type in @HRCC right there in this field and hit OK. And then it'll show up right there on the right-hand side window. Double click it. And now I can say, hi all, with a 1. Very good. Can I change that? Yeah, I can. There we go. So everything through a dash that has a dash going through it is actively being transmitted. Everything that still is something that's editable, you can actually go in and change it if you make a typo, as I just did. No, actually, Tony, good question. The heritage tree is actually WSJTX being the software title. There was a lot of modes before FT8 came out. Then FT8 was created. Then JS8Call, and JS8Call is not associated with the people who created FT8 and WSJTX. Why am I... Anyway, the hams who came up with that, not affiliated. It's a completely different ham that made JS8Call. All right. So there is an all-call message, somebody said. Matt, how busy is JS8 usually? It's not that busy. And in fact, I don't really put it down as like a heavy QSO mode like FT8 is. It is more of a people talking together mode, having a rag chew. It reminds me of like a newer version of PSK31. It's very similar. And it is a better communication mode for prepping, for preparedness, I would say. Yeah, Scout, good question. How would you create your own group? Is it as simple as just entering something original in that field that starts with an A? Yes, indeed it is. And you just get everybody to use that, and you should be good to go. That's all it takes. So yeah, that's the trick behind that. So there's one thing I like. You got it. Yep, K8MRD got it perfectly. He's right in there. Joe Taylor, thank you. There's more than just Joe Taylor involved, but yep, you got it. Thank you. Very good. All right, so I've used this before. This might work. I don't think I can use Mike or N5SKT for this, but I know N5SKT has already done this before, so I'm probably going to use him. I know he's probably okay with that. Don, I'm going to try and relay through you. Let's do something fun here. So a lot of JS8Call draws from packet radio to me, the functionality that we used to do back in the 90s in packet radio. And that was line of sight comms, right? But it allowed us things like a personal bulletin board system, a personal mail system, all that fun stuff, all that capability that kind of was the internet without the internet. It was the capability of sending messages. You could send data, but it was kind of a specialty case. It was really interesting, though, and some of that has been relayed or brought into JS8Call, and one of those things is we can relay messages, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So N5SKT is right there. I have heard him. So Don is in Texas, and I have heard him, and KE5OWJ has heard him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to go Directed Messages, and I'm going to go to Hearing. Oh, and I got a message. So I'm going to ask N5SKT who he is hearing. It's kind of like what you can do in packet radio. And actually what we did in packet radio was we'd say, who are the stations you can hear? And then we would relay through those people, which would allow us to kind of bent pipe our packet stations to create a huge packet network. And that's kind of what we're going to do right now. I'm going to see what Don says back. W6CR, I hear you. You made it. Let's see if Don comes back to me. Okay, cool. So I heard Don. I don't know that Don heard me, though, because I am running low power. JS8Call is one of those modes that you can use perfectly fine with QRP, but you generally probably will do better with 100 watts for things like I'm about to do. Now, what is relay for? Relay is for getting a message to a specific party. And there's another way to do this, and it's probably the way I should have done this, because I started off the whole episode saying, you should use the stars. Those are people that have actually heard you when you actually transmit. So Don didn't come back to me, so he didn't hear me. It's okay. So let's go to somebody who did hear me with a high signal, this N2S. Let's sort by age. I'm doing a live stream right now, bud. No. I know. I want to find the people with the... No, it's not going to let me do that. Anyway, let's find somebody with a star that has a big signal and recently replied to me. So negative 5 dB is pretty good. So I'm going to right-click on them. See, I was looking at 43 minutes ago, negative 5 dB. So I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to say directed message. Who are you hearing? Because they replied to my heartbeat. Hey, Bass. Thank you so much for the kind words. Appreciate it. Oh. I didn't see your reply. Now I can't see Dawn. I didn't see your message reply, Dawn. Let's see. I may do it again. I didn't see it. This is another good one, WS7PB. We're going to right-click on them. I'm going to give the first... So every time you're transmitting, you're not receiving. So keep that in mind, too. You want to make sure that you are giving ample time for people to reply to you, particularly if you're asking for things like, hey, who are you hearing? Okay. Oh, big signals coming in. I can tell because the waterfall lines are very strong, and the speaker is actually way louder. All right, we're going to try it again. So, good question. Ham radio ref or ham radio half. The transceivers generally will either be transmitting or receiving. When I'm transmitting, I can't receive. You would need a separate receiver. But the problem is that with your local radio on the same frequency for JS8Call, you'd wash out the other transmitter or the other receiver. So it's not really worth it. Just be a little bit more disciplined. Okay, let's try Don again, because he said he replied. Things are going to change as we get into the evening, too, and obviously it's probably dark already for some of you. All right, we'll try N5SKT again. Clazer, no, I am not. I got to update my location here in a second. Where'd your brother go?
Hmm.
You're not with him? You're not with him? You're supposed to be with him.
He was running around, and I tried to find him.
Okay, well, go find him. Losing damn kids while being on a live stream. Gee bus. All right, let's add a little bit of more detail to where I'm at. Go back into file settings. I am EM64RR. And what time do we got? Got a couple of minutes here. Oh, WS7. Okay. KI6 Nazi. I'm not a Nazi. Edison, don't go run off like that. I'm going to reply to him. Blame FCC. They gave me this call, not a Nazi. They gave me this call, guys. I didn't pick this call. Yeah, why is that? We'll move it off. Yeah, but it looks like I am... Yeah, I don't know why it auto... It shouldn't do that unless you... Okay, sorry. I'm having an internal conversation. I have to remember that I've got to express it. Clazer's right. So my red bar there next between 800 and 1000 hertz is the heartbeat area. So I shouldn't be doing QSOs there. I should be sliding down to the right where the green bar is. I will do that now. It moved there once and then it never moved back. So I'm gonna slide over. All right, so I slid over a little bit. What's the next thing I want to do? I want to ping out where my location is. So if we go back to my web example here, and again, link in the description for this really nice PDF. If we use the format of at APRS IS grid and then type in some amount of grid information, you can ping that out. Now, if you need this for safety purposes, you're generally going to want to be very accurate with your grid. In my case, I'm not going to be that accurate. So I'm gonna wait a second, make sure nobody's trying to send me a message, and then we're going to do that right now. So I'm going to go at APRS IS grid. Was it EM64RR? Yeah. RF Field Tech, I don't... unless your Chromebook is running Windows, it probably won't. You'll need to like sideload Linux, and JS8Call runs on Linux. I don't know. All right, you're deselected, Liberty Cave. All right. Firing that off. I don't like that deselect button, I'll tell you. Yeah, class, it runs fantastic. Yeah, JS8Call runs very well on a Raspberry Pi. I've run it on Ubuntu laptops. Works great. What radio am I using? Yeah, I kind of showed. Oh, the radio. Sorry, I can't tell you. The camera died. No, I'm using a Xiegu G106. So, no. No, I didn't say that. Josh, so folks would be better off with a Raspberry Pi versus a laptop. No, I don't agree. Personally, I don't. I like the Raspberry Pis. They have their place. They sip power. They're very, very nice on power, which is fantastic. The downside with the Raspberry Pis is I just don't think they're that robust. And then you always need an extra thing to remote into them to do VNC and all that other fun stuff. So generally, it's laptop for me. And I will grab another battery here. How do you know it's not a whale? The kids are exploring the backyard.
Well, that's exciting. You gotta be careful out there. There are coyotes.
Mother, don't you want to go hiking with Mommy?
No, I'm not wearing shoes for hiking. Came out to see if you guys will.
Yes. All right, so let's again show you what I'm working with here. So I've got a tiny desk. I'll go full wide here. Got a G106. Don't mind the Mac is running the stream and most of the stuff behind it are. But the G106 into the DE17 into the Jankopotamus laptop. That's all you really need. And then I'm running an end-fed half-wave, the Chameleon Left's antenna. All right. And for the simplicity's sake, we covered a lot of the deeper, functional, usable areas of JS8Call, I feel, particularly for preparedness, like relaying messages. We actually didn't make that work yet, so we're going to try that in a second, but we'll get back to that in a second, I should say. But I want to go back and just kind of show that when in doubt, just right-click on the call sign and go to directed messages, and these are all the things that you can send to any one station. You can do a simple reply. You can give them their SNR. You can give them info about your station. These are all things like your QSO info, right? Things you would do in a QSO. But you can go deeper than that, like what is your status? Who are you hearing? Relay this message to another person, or store this message in your inbox. Kind of the example things that you would want to do if you were kind of off grid and you were using this as kind of a personal radio preparedness, communication preparedness type thing, right? So I think that Don said he did reply. So let's just take it to the next level. We'll right click on Don, go to directed, and I'm going to go to message to query for call sign. Please acknowledge you can communicate directly to, and we're going to go wrong keyboard, K8MRD.
Hey, murder.
If he's not transmitting already. So normally if I can't hear K8MRD, which I can, so we're just skipping over that fact, but if I can't normally communicate with him, and I know Dawn's relatively in the location, I'm going to see if Dawn can hear Mike. That's my goal, is to get a message to Mike. And I've got a couple ways to do that. That's kind of what I'm worried about. Is that a mosquito flying around me? Not anymore. So we're going to use, hopefully, Dawn will say, yeah, I can hear Mike. He's just yelling outside my window right now. Ground squirrels do. Yeah, K8MRD, most likely you're probably going over each other's heads, but I'm kind of showing the example. We're on 20 though, so likelihood of him being able to do it's probably not that good. So I'm not getting back anything. Oh, K8MRD. Oh, he's going direct. Oh, we got a relay. Somebody's relaying to me. Through Mike. I'll show you how to do that. Again, thank you. Big thank you to K6ARK. I have an Epic Brewing, the 1045 to Denver, which there's probably a whole story behind that. So. So that was pretty cool. You guys did that preemptively without me having to say anything. All right, so what just happened? We talked about it, the whole packet radio thing, like what could we do with packet radio? Well, it looks like K4NDZ routed or relayed, K8MRD, oh no, Mike relayed for, is it one way or the other? I think it's K8MRD relayed. Yeah, he relayed to me the message from K4NDZ. So good job. And that was from Florida. So nicely done. Yeah, John, it's literally making sure that the multiple parties can hear each other in the chain and then relaying through the different call signs. That's the whole trick of it. And literally, it's as easy as what I'm trying to do, but doing it live is usually a little bit more difficult because I'm trying to find the right station to relay from. The syntax is a little weird. I agree, Don.
Take your bone.
Okay.
Chloe doesn't want the bone.
Edison, we can all hear you. Good. Thank you.
Throw it back out of here. Oh, she does want the bone.
All right, so I'm going to do a relay. Since I'm working with Mike so well here, I'm going to use Mike as my relay. So let's use this. Mike, if you're not transmitting to anybody, pause for a second, and I'm going to do a hearing just to see who you can hear.
That's it. Close that door.
You guys are the worst. You're so loud. They're the best when I'm not streaming. All right, so I fired off a hearing to K8MRD. If he followed the kind of beginning where I explained how to turn on auto reply, then he should pretty much just reply to my message. We'll see.
Did you close that door? No? Oh, I left that door open. Well, that Chloe can go in just in case if she wants.
No, go around and close the door. I don't want Chloe going in.
Why not?
Just go do it, please.
Not over there. Not to the gate. Don't go to the gate.
Okay, she just went inside the house.
She didn't.
Mike says odds are 50-50. So make sure you have auto reply turned on. And under reporting as well, if you want to play around with that, make sure you have spotting turned on and enable spotting to the APRS messages. And there's your server that you can work through if you want to do it that way too. Nobody's replying to my calls for who can hear.
Ow.
Have you tried using a cell phone?
I know, yeah. I'm gonna have to call K8MRD on the phone and say, "Who are you hearing right now? Is it me?"
Oh wait, bad Wi-Fi.
All right, so we'll bypass that. We'll go direct to Mike and say, "Please relay this message to its destination." Wait, that's the wrong syntax. Directed message. Message 2. So what I did, right click, go directed message, message 2, then the call sign, and we're just going to use the KA8OOM from earlier because I know we can probably confirm.
A honey bear could have bit that bone. A honey bear could have.
And we're going to do test relay.
Yeah, the bears that take down beehives. And they eat the.
Are you talking about Winnie the Pooh? No. Well, then get out of here. No.
It's possible that's the case, Super Geek. All right, so I am getting a relay. There we go. So it took a little while. Do you see the auto reply there that just popped up when I pinged KN6JSX hearing, and then they came back hearing K8MRD. So okay, so KN6JSX, we can go. Let's go to KN6JSX. KN6JSX. Oh, they were asking me. Never mind. It doesn't work the same for me for some reason right now. It's not posting it, like, it's not saying KI6NAZ and then hearing. Very frustrating. So some of this stuff works perfectly fine all the time, and I appreciate I didn't have that deselect button nailed down. But you really have to be able to hear the person for a lot of this to work. And it turns out we've got a lot of people I can hear. Like Mike right now is doing great. I have it big so that like there's no question of where I'm pointing. I like it like that for when I'm doing these live streams. Yeah, that's Mike. You got it. All right, let's check in with Let's see if my spot went through. Nope, looks like I didn't make it through.
Where's Chloe, Daddy?
Close the door. Close the door. I'm trying to do a live stream and you keep interrupting. Stop. Edison is the worst at that. He totally forgets it. Like, I'm like, guys, you can just wait 1 hour. Give me 1 hour. Give me 1 hour, kids. That's all I need. All right, so there we go. KN6, that was me replying to him. I replied back. Okay. So let's see who he's hearing, because we actually got directed messages working with him. Yeah, Liberty Cave. Don't get me wrong. I sit and answer questions with them all day long. They just need to give me 1 hour a week to not be to not be yelling in the background. Let's see if they reply to me. Yeah, so KN6 ODG, yeah, it's a good point. So a lot of this is predicated on, so we're just colliding over all of each other, right? That's the reality of a lot of these, the way JS8Call works. It works like packet radio and APRS. Packets, these are not packets, but hypothetically, our message transmission points are just colliding into each other. If I'm asking for a heartbeat while someone is trying to relay a message through me, oh, too bad, it's gone. So yeah, a lot of this is solely based on some radio discipline, some just fooling around, trying it multiple times, and sometimes just finding stations that are like pure automatic, and that's all there is to it. I mean, it's fiddly. You have to fiddle around with it, for sure. God, there's a fly that won't leave me alone now. Yeah, see, I didn't get anything back, so, okay. Maybe they're not hearing me anymore. Close the door and leave it closed. Close the door and leave it closed. Thank you. That kid. Dawn, I never had the developer on my channel. That was Jason. Hey, how's it going? Good point, Ken. That's the other part about this, is that like once you attempt the call and nothing happens, Packet was kind of smart enough that it would try again. Part of the reason that doesn't happen on JS8Call is that the time in between a lot of this stuff is, oh wait, somebody's sending me something. Well, it's not the person hearing, but whatever. Yeah, until you get a knack or an act, they'll try and do it again a couple of times until there's a cooldown point. So that's a simple, good way to probably wrap things up, is just the fun way of, QSOing with people. K4PAD just sent me a message saying, hey, hello from Malibu. I wish Malibu, California with a 6, I'm assuming, yes. Is that how it is? We're all the same person? I don't think so. I know people like to paint us with such a broad brush that we are the same person, but that seems crazy to me. Okay, so I think what else did I want to do? We got through most of the advanced stuff. That APRS thing not working kind of bums me out. Oh, there's a relay from K6AR, ARY. I'll wait. I got nothing else to do. I will do... Oh, that was a relay. That was from K6 AR. That was a relay message. Sorry. That's sometimes the funky bits of relays. So K4PAD relayed hello from Malibu KC6AR. Right on. That's very cool. Thank you for that. Trust me, the more you use it, the more you'll get used to it. All right, let's do that again, though. APRS, IS, grid, and I am EM64RR. I am not the same height as either Jason. I'm taller than both of them. By a good percentage. The only one who's like... So Eric is tall. Steve is obviously the tallest. Both Steves are very tall. And Ham Radio Dude is tall. Oh, Mike's about my height. Yeah, but he's also taller than Jason. I feel like I'm in elementary school. No, I'm this tall. I'm this tall. So we got so many Jasons in Ham Radio. Who set that up? Jamscan, how is the Shegu working? It's working fantastic. I got it, it's right here. Don't get me wrong, I did bring the 705 in case this didn't work out. But no, it's working fine. I have a Hamfest amazing satellite contact that I recorded that I got to post. I got to remember to edit that and get it up on YouTube. What I really liked about it is he has a different approach to doing satellite contacts, which I think a lot of you will like, particularly ISS. All right. Now, I will have a video probably Monday on the Shegu, my side of the review, I guess you could say. A lot of people have been talking about it, and I'll give you a little spoiler. I know you've heard from Mike's video, of course. Mike's in the chat. We've all watched Mike's video. It is hilarious. I've had 3. I've had more of these radios than anybody. I had one before Mike's, and then Mike largely got mine. And then now I have a 3rd one, and that's what this one is here. So I have spent a decent amount of time with this radio. Okay, hopefully that worked. Did the APRS work? Otherwise, I'm packing it in. And heading over to Discord. So it worked, but it's not doing my location right. So that's interesting. So that's weird. Here, let's throw that over there. Did I screw up the grid square? I probably did. It says I'm back in Huntsville. So it works. It works fine. I just APRS myself, but now they're going to go look for the body in Huntsville. Why, though? That was weird. EM64... That's my bad. Too much going on. Too much going on. Try to do these live streams, man. Sometimes you will forget to do something. Okay, let me go back. Hey guys, we know it's working. No guys, I was kidding. I'm actually a DM14NG. God. All right, so we're gonna make this work. APRSIS grid. DM14NG. Go. Chloe got kicked out again. Yes, EM is not DM. This is true. Why am I back at Huntsville? I mean, I like it there, but It's not nearly as humid where I'm at right now. All right, let's check. All right, here we go. Back over. There it is. I just teleported, guys. We're good. We're everything's good. That pink line is the amount of time I just went pew. All right, so that's how you you provide your location. Obviously, you'll need to have a way to actually do that. I use an app on my phone called Maidenhead. It's not tied to the internet. At least it doesn't need to be. It uses GPS on your phone. That's for iPhone. Okay, so I think that'll do it. Hopefully, I answered all the questions, or we got through a lot of the more advanced stuff, the usable stuff, so that you can all use effectively JS8Call, because it is an incredibly valuable software tool, and one that if you're already down the rabbit hole of doing WSJTX, if you already have FT8 running and you're already making contacts, you should definitely have JS8Call loaded on your computer as well and be ready to use it in case you need to. Also, it's just a lot of fun. Nick Smith, you should join us on the Discord after chat. How fast can I get my TX500 set up on a new computer for digits? Getting them digits. It depends on what your audio interface is. I think they make a Digi rig for the TX500. Good question. Someone might know that. I don't know that. Can you spot for POTA on JS8Call? I don't think you can. Yeah, Nick Smith says he's got a Digi rig. Okay, so then probably not very difficult. You just need to make sure you have the baud rate selected and the rig type. Make sure you pull up the manual for the TX500 and figure out what the rig type is, because that can vary greatly. All right. Josh had taken some video, wondered if he was going to upload it. Which video? Which video? North Alabama Tech Team? Oh, I know who you are. I know what you're asking me. Maybe I'll make a TikTok. Maybe that's what I should do. Make a TikTok on that one. I wasn't coming at you, by the way. It was funny, though. Last thing. Let's PSK reporter myself. Show how I'm getting out. Whoo, buddy. All right. Good enough. Here we go. So this is PSK reporter for the G106 on the Chameleon Lefts antenna. I have the 80-meter tactical Lefts antenna, the one that you put up and then you totally can't see it anymore, which I can't even see the thing anymore, which makes it a little difficult for people to clothesline themselves. Can I? Yeah, absolutely. So the question in the chat is, can I spell the app I'm talking about? Maiden, like Maiden, head. Maidenhead. Hey, thank you so much. JS8 for Soda Spot. Don't know. Can you? Are you asking me? I don't know. Thank you for the 357, though. Favorite caliber. I feel like most of the time... no, I don't think you can. No, you know what? Hold on. Now you guys are going to make me stay up. Not stay up, but look into doing this. Hold on. Yeah, okay, here. So, no, I don't think they link. I was going to bring this up, but even if I bring it up, there is a SOTA and POTA group on JS8Call, but I don't think they link to the spotting system. Yeah. Okay. What else? There's anything else? I think I got one message that I need to get. So deselect. I have deselected. Show inbox. Yes. Oh, the WA6. Yes. Yes, copy. There we go. All right, guys. I think that'll do it. We're going to wrap things up here. We're going over to Discord, though, so the party doesn't have to stop. We're just going to go over and restart this again. And the topic is going to be more focused on answering your ham radio questions and trying to help you out. If you've been struggling to get JS8Call working this whole evening, well, hey, no big deal. Join us over on the Discord. I will be posting a live stream to follow this one up on YouTube, and I will be live streaming to YouTube and Twitch, so you can join us over there. All right? So again, a big thank you to the patrons. You are the reason that I do some of these videos. Some of these videos I wouldn't come back to necessarily. We do JS8Call. We've done multiple videos on JS8Call. So the fact that you guys wanted to do it, that's all that mattered, and that's why we got it done. So hopefully we covered a lot of the things that people wanted to see. Ah, Scott. Very good. Yeah. Scott K0WAV. JS8Call spots are done through the JS8Call to APRS gateway. So if you do the APRS IS, right, if you use APRS IS and you use the standard format, you can actually send a formatted APRS message. Very, very smart. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yep, right on. Makes sense to me. Hey, thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully this was fun and helpful. It's really about like trying it, having fun with it, and just having it as something that's in your toolkit, right? I'm a big advocate of we do this stuff, you know, to make radio fun and interesting, but you know, there's no reason not to get out there and have your laptops, your Jankopotamuses, your all that stuff equipped to actually deal with this stuff, right? So that's why I recommend you do it. All right, guys, I am Josh KI6NAZ. I will have a card or something like that, or follow along with some recommended videos on topics that work along with whatever you have going in ham radio. But please consider joining us over on the Discord. It's where all the real questions get answered to help people get out there, get started, and get on the air. Until I talk to you again, 73. I think all my batteries are dead. Oh my. Nope. All right, guys, we'll catch you over on the Discord. Please join us over there.